Okay, for this scenario, you're a college student. You're pretending that it is your third year at Cal State San Marcos University, and you need to find an apartment with two roommates so you can afford to live in it. And you work as a server in a restaurant, making on average $22 per hour, but you can only work 20 hours per week and still balance your school schedule. You get $2,000 per semester in grants, and a semester, we're going to call that about half of a school year, right? Half a year, and scholarships. So if school is 10 months, then you're getting that 2,000 for every 5 months. Um, or you could consider it as, yeah, we'll just do 2,000 per every 5 months. And then the scholarships, that's in scholarships. And then to attend school, your parents are able to give you an additional 1,000 per year. So to calculate the salary income, there's a couple things going on. I'm actually going to just type it right here in this little part. But so we've got the $22 per hour times 20 hours per week. And so grab a calculator and do this real quick. 22 times 20. I'm getting $440 per week. And so to convert that into a monthly, we're going to take the weekly and we're going to multiply it by 52. And that's going to give us an annual. So 440 times 52 gives us 22,880. And then we want to divide that by 12 when we're done. But so this is an annual salary of how much you're working. Plus you get the 1,000 from your parents. And so we've basically got 23,880 divided by 12. And so I'm getting $19.90 a month. But then remember, you've got that grant money per semester for every 5 months. So we're going to take the $2,000 and divide it by 5. And so monthly from that, I'm getting $400. So if I take the $19.90 plus the $400, this is going to give us our monthly income. So I'm getting $23.90. So that you guys can see where I'm getting this income figure from over here, that's where I got it. And that's your monthly number to work with. Okay, taxes on that. Remember that an average number to deduct per person for taxes would be about 25%. So times 0.25, we're going to say that that's about $597.50. That's coming right off the top out of our paycheck. Next, it doesn't say in here whether you need a car payment or not. So think about this. If this is your third year at Cal State San Marcos, would you want a car at this point? Especially if you're living off campus with two roommates, you're living in an apartment, you might need transportation to get there. So we're going to come back and see if there's room for that. Your gas money would be only if you have a car payment and car insurance, and same for car maintenance and car registration. Cell phone is a must. How much do you want to budget for a cell phone? You could go for $45 a month if you're doing like a base Cricket plan or one of Metro, something like that. Or if you're looking at a Verizon bill, maybe it's $50 or $60 a month. Let me center all of these. Okay. Now you're going to make some choices on fast food, entertainment, but let's go talk about rent first because that's going to be our biggest one. So if we've got $23.90 per month as income, and we've got this $597 coming right off the bat, let's go ahead and subtract that. $23.90 minus $597.50. We're looking at $17.92 left over for everything. So we need to be really careful with rent. So we're just going to go search rent. Let's go home, apartment for rent, San Marcos. And San Marcos is like a 92078 zip code over by Cal State San Marcos. So looking for apartments to rent, you can choose any website here to search through. And remember that you're going to get two roommates, so there's going to be 3 of you living in there. So if you're first looking at bed and baths of a 3-bedroom, check out the prices on these. So if it's $27.50 for a 3-bedroom, and each of you is going to split that, $2,750 divided by 3, that's $916 per person. Here's a 3-bedroom apartment. Here's a little bit cheaper. You're going to actually pick one of these apartments out as your apartment. So let's say I pick this guy right here as my apartment. I'm going to go screenshot this, capture. And by the way, could you get a studio and all of you make it work? Absolutely. That's the whole thing here with your budget, of you being able to decide if you'd like to do a cheaper cost of living, then you can make that adjustment. So I'm going to do a 3-bedroom, so we each have our own room, and my apartment's going to be $2,750. So down here in rent, I'm going to put $2,750 divided by 3. And so my part is $916 a month. You can round up to $917 if you want. So of that $1,792 I have to work with, there went a big chunk of it on rent, right? Okay. So now gas and electric in an apartment between 3 people, you guys are going to be splitting it. So maybe if the whole gas and electric was $150, maybe each of your part would then be $50 each. And groceries, you're going to be able to decide that in just a second. The internet bill, maybe it's $60 for the whole bill. So you guys are doing about $20 each because you're splitting it by 3. I'm going to show that work of the splitting it by 3. Okay, and then you're again deciding on clothes or emergency fund or savings and your end balance. So now going back up to this, if you know your rent is $917, now there's maybe a little bit room for a car payment. So maybe back up to here, you do have a car payment of $350 or something like that. Car insurance, let's estimate about $115 per month. Could be more. You guys might know how much your car insurance is. Your gas per month, because you're driving all the way over to Cal State San Marcos, maybe it's $100. Depends on how close your apartment is. And car maintenance or car registration, let's just put in like $15 a month for car registration. Car maintenance, who knows, maybe like an oil change every once in a while, etc., if your car is pretty new. And then to go to college, let's see here, you work as a server in a restaurant. Basically, it doesn't give much information up here on how you're paying for the rest of the stuff. So you're getting $2,000 in grants and scholarships per semester, but there's still a big difference in that. So let's go up and search cost of tuition for Cal State San Marcos per semester. And so undergraduate is $82.08 tuition. And here's what they're estimating for books. So I would just use this $82.08 figure. So we're going to go back in here. This is per semester, and a semester is about 5 months. So we're going to go $82.08 divided by 5. Let's see how much this is. I'm looking at $16.41 and 60 cents. So right there, seeing that number in there, all of a sudden I've got to go back up here and be like, okay, maybe I can't have all this car payment, car maintenance, gas and stuff. Maybe I'm just taking the bus to school. If you're doing a school loan, if you're thinking, wow, I don't want to have to worry about that $1,600 a month, over here, go ahead and specify school loan deferred, meaning that you don't have to make payments on that until later. So if you want to put in this monthly figure and make your budget work, that's up to you. If you want to say that you're doing a school loan for that additional money, then you can go ahead and put in school loan right there for that. So the $82.08 is going to be money that you're borrowing. And real quick, tuition per semester. Yeah, this does say I'm trying to see if this is per semester. or for the year? Okay, that's for the year. Hang on, let's go back in and adjust that number. That's for the year. So it actually said, did you see that number? It said 7712, not 8208. So we're going to go back and we're going to do 7712. Anyways, if you're going to be doing a school loan, you'd put that over here. If you're going to be dividing it, then you'd be putting it here for your monthly figure. All right, so we don't need car. Well, if we're doing a school loan, I can put the car back in. We are definitely going to need a car to get to school, right? Okay, so putting back in the car insurance, putting back in the gas, putting back in car maintenance, and now we're assuming school loan for that. So fast food would be when I'm eating out, and then groceries would be when you're eating at your house. So let's say for a single person, I don't know, you decide how much for groceries per month for one person. It's between $193 and $358 on groceries per month. So you decide who you are, right? The average adult female, the average adult male, what amount of money within that range do you want to put? So I'm going to go back and just leave it as $250. I'm not going to put any clothes in the budget or emergency, and I'm going to see if there's any leftover for savings for fast food. I'm going to say that I'm going to go at least once a week. I just think this bill needs to be way higher, actually. Let's put in 100 per month on fast food. Entertainment, I'm going to see if there's anything left over. Let's see how we're doing. So now I'm going to start with that total of $23.90, and I'm going to subtract $597.5, and then I'm going to subtract $350 for the car payment, subtract $115, minus 100, minus 25, minus 15 for car registration, minus 60, minus 100, minus 917 for rent. Ooh, and I'm too much. Minus 50 and minus 20. So I'm down to 40 bucks and 50 cents, and I still have all these groceries, so I need to get rid of $200. So first of all, I can make this go down to 175. That was the minimum groceries for a single person. And then I can go up here on gas. I can cut this down to 50. I'm going to have to be careful with my gas. And for fast food, I'm going to have to be careful with eating out. So I just cut off 100 bucks there. So I need to cut off $30 somewhere else. Maybe I can find a cheaper cell phone plan, not Verizon. And maybe my car maintenance is going to come out to only 20 bucks a month. And maybe I find a cheaper insurance. All right, let's total this up and see where I'm at now. $23.90 minus $597.50 minus $350 minus 110 minus 50 minus 20 minus 15 minus 45 minus 50 minus 917 minus 50 minus 175 minus 20. I'm at negative $10. Okay, so I'm going to go up here and make my car payment $300 a month. I need to make sure I have a cheaper car. And if you have an actual car payment right now, you're going to put that actual car payment in. That would be really good for this budget because you guys are about to be graduating. Okay, so now that I dropped that, I should be good on my total budget. So let's do it one last time. Okay, this is leaving me the big whopping $40 that I'm putting into savings every month. And actually I'm going to round this up to 598 up here to make it even. Okay, so now my ending balance comes out to 0, which is the goal of all of these budgets. I'm going to make this go left indent. I'm going to move this over and move this up a little bit, so you can see the whole thing. Okay, so the point of this video, you're not copying all my exact numbers. The point of this video is you are going to be researching and filling in the blanks for what you think would be appropriate for your own college budget based on having this part-time job at $22 an hour. Notice the image I chose here is the actual rental, so make sure you include that. What other images could I include here? Anything else that applies. So for example, a car payment of $300 a month, put a picture of the car that you think you're going to have. If you currently have a vehicle with a payment, put that in, etc. So images that would be appropriate for your college budget would go in here in addition to where you're planning to rent. Do you have to look in San Marcos? No, you can look in Oceanside. You can look in a cheaper area and then commute to San Marcos. So keep that in mind, that this is for you to be able to search. Okay? All right, that's the end of that one. Make sure your numbers are personal and individual to you, but that gives you guidance on how I came up with one example.